What would you say about the course was different that kind of kept you going through the modules? Because I think that's such a big fear, even for me as somebody who consumes courses too. I'm like, oh my God, I'm afraid I'm going to buy this and just not consume it or not finish it. And then I'm going to feel like a loser because
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Like, what would you say kept you going through the modules and seeing it to
Yeah.
completion?
Yeah, it was. So what you offer, which other people didn't, was there was. So it's the fact that I mean, I think it's a lot cheaper than you give. There's so much more value in it for a lot lower price. So that's appealing. But within that, then it's the fact that there's the video sections, which I went through. I think it's the actual content of the videos doing very practical things about, right, here's how you set up, your portfolio and your LinkedIn and all these other things, and then here's how you send the DMs, and so that emphasis on action, and not so much worried about types of writing or things like that. Like, that's maybe not, I think you said before in some of your videos, like it's kind of almost secondary to actually the other stuff, of which I agree with. And so there's that, but then there's also, I think it's the fact that you give you're very generous with your help. Like, you give so much of your help to the people in the course, and you open it up for, like, you've got the Slack channel, or actually the communities, and that's open for the year. And so we have, as students in the course, we are members of a community, so we can ask each other, and chatting to some of the other people from the community is awesome as well. And then you're dipping in, and you're just going, yes, brilliant, you've done really well, and you're kind of like hyping this up, and it really does feel like, you're part of something. And so I think that's a really attractive aspect of the course. I think that's really a really great bit of it.
That's amazing. I love to hear that because that's what I'm trying to do is create that community feel and just give writers a place where they can literally like be in action, but then come back to a group and say, I just did this. What do you think about this? Because that was what was missing for me when I first started. It was just like me on my own trying to figure this whole thing out. And I didn't
Yeah.
discover groups and all that until much later. Tell me about your experience writing for clients so far. Like, okay, let me break this into two pieces. Number one, you broke into tech and it doesn't sound like you had tech experience. A lot of people are intimidated by breaking into
Mm.
the technology niche. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I guess because yeah, I'm kind of, it's something that is hugely fascinating to me, and I have this really weird relationship with technology, where I kind of like, I have a love hate relationship with it anyway. And I think a lot about technology in terms of the way in which it kind of entraps us all in some ways, and yet also frees us in others. So I do a lot of things about that, and I'm quite an early adopter of stuff, and I love my tech, and yet I also kind of hate it at the same time. So I think it's because of that it didn't really phase me. And obviously education technology is something that, as a teacher, you come across, you use yourself. So you're kind of aware of the user interface of it already. And so you kind of know that aspect of it. So you know what teachers are looking for from it, and you know what students might be looking for. So, I mean, yeah. So I guess I wasn't put off. It's kind of attractive to me. It is kind of like one of the more attractive niches that I could go into, I would say, just because of my personal interest, mixing sort of tech with education. So yeah.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. And I want everyone to hear that because people are very intimidated, but it's like just being a user of technology qualifies you to have this vantage point to be able to write about it. It's not as intimidating as people think.
No, completely.